Most not Gragas, Olaf players will go that Grasp of the Undying, or even something else. But as we are getting into this game now, we do see that Team Battung is actually looking for a full 5-man blue side invade, while Team Renegades actually brought 4 people to the party. So we could have some level 1 shenanigans here. Orbital warding the backside, making sure they don't get sideswept. And there are blue pings onto that blue buff. I wonder if we do get a level 1 first blood here. And there they're spotted. And Orbital goes wide on the dark binding. Good work, Daniel. But despite that fact, they do know now that Olaf will be starting in that blue side of the jungle. Definitely what he should do, getting the extra help from the bot side. Plus, Olaf burns through his mana. It's 60 mana per axe. Axe is on a 2-second cooldown when you pick it up. You burn through that ridiculously fast on your jungle clear. And as the buffs do spawn, we do see that Jarvan is starting on this bot side as well. And actually starting on the red buff rather than the rafters. So there will not be any early level 3 gank shenanigans here. But I would like to see that maybe in the upcoming games in this series. We have to remind you this is a best of 3, not a best of 1. So this is only the opening game of the series where teams can kind of feel out the competition. And Orbital taking a bit of a beating from the Malzahar, using that space aids. Malefic Visions is what it's called. And losing out a bit on CS, actually seeing that he only has 4 when the late resets, and Malzahar has 7 now that he's got one. But already a -2 CSD in this first wave. Not a whole lot that means, because obviously these things can swing quite quickly. But we do actually see Jarvan and Olaf almost meeting up, and yeah, actually pinging each other out up here in the top river, finding each other. And Jace does not walk down and place a ward, but does go for a good trade on Gnar. Not too much damage, but it's level 2. What do you really expect? Just kind of bullying him for pressure or intimidation rather than actual damage. And the Star Guardian Soraka, great skin. Very excited to use it, but Raffle My Waffle definitely getting my attention through this game, just solely based on the pick. And Olaf taking his second buff, while Jarvan actually took his a bit earlier, so there might be a mismatch on these buff spawn timers. Not sure if that will play into it later, but it could inspire some invading shenanigans around the 8-minute mark. And actually, there is a gank onto the top side. Shadow Slayer walking into the top lane, smashes down Faisal Speedwagon, and Faisal burns his flash. I almost would have liked, and actually no, there's a mid lane gank as well. Chef exiled, lands the flag and drag onto Dr. Blake, and Orbital goes wide with his dark binding again, just over his right shoulder. Dr. Blake walks out, no summoners burned. That is a summoner spell advantage to Team Battung, and I actually like Team Battung's gank more because I think Faisal played that wrong. Faisal should have recognized that he wasn't going to be able to just walk away from that and flashed earlier instead of losing half his health and then flashing. I think that was some wasted laning pressure and all-around overconfidence on how he could play out that gank. But both teams gank, both teams fail, nobody gets a kill. 5 minutes in, we are still quite boring in this, just simple CSing. But we actually do see a bit of a gold mismatch here, because Jarvan has cleared out 15 minions while Olaf has cleared 12, and the only camp that Jarvan has skipped over now is his wolves, while Olaf has skipped his wolves and his Krugs, therefore giving Team Battung about 100 extra gold. Not going to play into it too much, but just some routing errors on the side of Team Renegades. And actually, Dr. Blake looked like he took a bad trade there, losing about half his health. But it doesn't really matter because Dr. Blake brought the teleport summoner spell into this mid lane, meaning that he can afford some of these worst trades back and teleport to lane easily. And I guess Faisal can too, actually hopping in for some more damage. Good realization of what he can put out, but maybe biting off a bit too much. He's going to have to go back and maybe even teleport back into this lane if Jace can push this wave fast enough. But Orbital had to recall as well. Dr. Blake didn't, and look, Orbital is losing even more CS to the tower. He is now down a full 8 CS. I was going to say 10, but it's not 10 anymore. But he's down so much CS as this lane resets, and Dr. Blake recalls and actually looks to walk back rather than teleport. Maybe he'll rethink that once he sees the wave pushed into his tower, but maybe not. And actually, XD Chala up in the top lane of Renegades actually might have made a mistake here and didn't shove that wave hard enough, and Faisal got to walk back without burning his teleport either. And now Shadow Slayer has stepped a little too far into the enemy jungle. Orbital with a great black shield just walks off the Malzahar ultimate and actually burns his flash just to exhaust. Dr. Blake looking at a worrisome and situation, and Chef Exiled flashes in for the last auto attack. Absolutely fantastic play, except for Orbital missing his second or third or 15th maybe Dark Binding in this game. We should start a counter. But Chef Exile definitely in the right spot at the right time. Shadow Slayer bit off a little bit more than he could chew walking into that red side of the jungle with no vision. Orbital walks up to him, pops the dark chains, roots him, and then roots him again with his Q. And there was not really much Dr. Blake could do to save him. An absolute misstep from Shadow Slayer 3 costs them their mid laner's life. And now I actually wonder if this blue buff will be handed over, and it does not look like it will. Shadow Slayer 3 taking the second blue buff of the game for himself. A little bit of selfish play after Dr. Blake sacrificed himself for you. And then in this bot lane, very calm, not much happening. Tristana farming up, definitely where she wants to be. Ashe and Soraka might need to start looking to kick this lane off a little bit more. Ashe, definitely no chump in the late game, but also definitely not a Tristana in the late game. Almost unrivaled in that late game now, Tristana is. And now we actually have Faisal going Mega. And, ooh, I was thinking that that was going to be a Mega Gnar into that wall, but XD Chala realizes the danger that he's in, knocks him back with the hammer, and walks away safely. And now Shadow Slayer actually looking to gank into this top lane, but we'll find that he just walked over a ward, so maybe not, unless Faisal was not paying attention. Faisal takes a huge chunk from the special energy blast, and XD Chala is actually looking for a solo kill, flashes in, and gets it! A solo kill from XD Chala onto Faisal. Both of them burn their flash. Faisal, what were you thinking? Shadow Slayer didn't even need to gank. XD Chala just walked up and killed him. And now moving on. That has huge repercussions because you see this Jace. He was going pretty much even in the laning phase. Only 3 CS ahead, and that's after getting a solo kill. But they were practically even, and he's going this Serrated Dirk, meaning that he's going to go into a lethality build. Lethality Jace falls off if he does not get ahead. You cannot do an efficient lethality Jace build without this kill lead. And Chef Exiled sitting in a bush with a ward, but Mexican Batman actually gets stunned up by the Ashe Arrow. Does have to flash out of the Cataclysm, but a little questionable that he just didn't dodge the arrow, didn't see it coming. But Chef Exiled wasted a little bit of time there. Shadow Slayer looking to gank around the mid lane. Actually looking to walk right into Faisal as he was looking to gank the mid lane. A nice little sidestep on the wallop, and actually does start to permaslow Faisal, but Faisal looks to turn this around as he hits Mininar. Can kite very easy, and Orbital actually gets ulted by the Malzahar. The Malefic Visions come through. Shadow Slayer walks out with 2 HP, and Chef Exiled is looking for a kill on a Dr. Blake. Oh, the Soraka ult saves Chef Exiled for just a little bit longer, but XTChala picks up the kill onto him and is now looking to turn it onto Faisal. But Faisal is looking to turn it onto him and gets it. Stomps him. Goomba stomps him with the crunch and walks out of there. That is an all-around 2 for 2, but arguably a win for Team Battung, simply based on Jace got that 3rd kill, hit the killing spree, and then immediately died, therefore giving catch-up XP to Faisal, who was behind on level and now is ahead by a level, and they get the team gold on the bounty, and XTChala actually burns his teleport to go top lane to try and shove this wave in before Faisal gets back, but Faisal, just being in the topside river, not far away, does make it back in time to catch most of this XP, if not all. But yes, we see Jace going into this lethality build, which is very risky because if you don't get ahead, you cannot be gold efficient going up against this Gnar who's going to go into attack damage and health, and also permaslows with the Frozen Mallet. Could get very scary in these longer lanes for Jace later on, and Faisal actually missing that cannon minion. Unlucky. But Swootington does pick his up, trying to pull that gold back for the team. And actually, talking about gold, there's about a 2,000 gold lead almost for Team Battung, just showing how much better they are in this laning phase. Pulling ahead, getting ahead simply based on CS. Faisal up 20 CS, and actually Shadow Slayer pops Ragnarok and does start running on Orbital, but instantly turns around, realizes that was a mistake, and then gets slam dunked by the Jarvan with the Cataclysm ult. And Orbital actually did burn his flash for that play, so it is a flash for a flash. Questionable play, Daniel. But either way, they pick up the kill, and that does actually bump them up to a 2,000 gold lead. And at 13 minutes, this could not be looking worse for Team Renegades. And Faisal actually looking to turn back and revenge the solo kill from earlier. But XTChala just barely slips away. Just by a couple units. Missed that long wall that Faisal was trying to reach for. It was a good effort, but XTChala gets to walk away with his life. And now actually we do see Shadow Slayer handing over this next blue buff over to Dr. Blake. Finally some team play coming in from the silver team in this round. But will it be enough to pull it back? I don't know. As we see now, Jarvan running the Tracker's Knife, putting wards into the blue jungle of his enemy, playing that vision game. They've already got 2 control wards in the bot side river, already looking towards control over that dragon, and I'm sure that is the next objective they will be looking towards. Now we actually do see Shadow Slayer up in the top side, getting his red buff, maybe going to utilize that soon for a invade on Jarvan's blue, or maybe even go for another gank on a Faisal. The last one seemed to work out pretty well, but Faisal's flash is back up, as is XTChala's. So maybe Faisal will be able to get away with the hop and the flash this time. But XTChala actually is looking for some damage, gets a huge chunk. Lethality Jace is disgusting, but actually Chef Exiled is the one here first. Misses the flag and drag, but there's the Cataclysm, and he drops it already, questionably. But Faisal does go mega, and the ultimate is not slightly up. But Chef Exiled actually taking a tower shot, going rather low. But Shadow Slayer is going to realize that he cannot win this one. And Faisal actually looking to go on. The Mega Gnar comes up right at the end. and slams him into the wall. Jarvan flag and drags through. And actually now there is a teleport gank onto the bot lane. Dr. Blake showed up, forced Swoodington to flash and heal. Actually got him quite low. And they might be looking to pressure this bottom tower. But up on the top side, Jarvan and Gnar actually rip down the first brick. And Orbital's looking to do the same in mid lane. This could be a huge gold swing, even further in the favor of Team Renegades. Not Renegades, sorry. Team Bat Tongue, now putting them almost 5,000 gold ahead. Now in this mid lane, we see Orbital clearing out this wave pretty quickly. But Dr. Blake is there to face tank the minions and save this tower that is sitting at 200 HP. A few more auto attacks, and that is gone. Those could be auto attacks from Soraka. It's gone. And now we really start to see the disparity between these teams start to come to life as Orbital consistently shoves in this mid lane with absolutely no repercussions. Shadowslayer looking towards a gank in the bot side, which is ill-advised, seeing how Faisal and Chef Exiled are actually sitting in the wings waiting as well, and Faisal's actually going to find Shadowslayer. Might be what he wanted, though. He has the Mega Gnar ready. Cannot be disabled. Olaf is safe, but Janna is not, and actually the long-range volley from Swoodington is going to clean him up, and that's looking like the Mountain Drake, if not the bot tower. Dr. Blake is poking around a little bit, as is Shadowslayer, now sitting at half health. But it is looking like Team Bat Tongue is just going to take the Mountain Drake and be happy. And that's going to be really good, as this team wants to focus onto the later game, move into these big team fights, and can take Baron even easier now. And Orbital actually looking to walk it in on a gank in the mid lane, does get the stun and the root onto Dr. Blake, and Faisal rips him to shreds with the hyper procs. And now Chef Exiled actually whiffs the flag and drag. That's a question mark ping there if I've ever seen one. But they are going to look to shove in this mid lane and drop this middle outer turret, which is going to earn them huge pressure into the enemy jungle. They're now able to walk in, place wards, and spot out Shadowslayer to put him even further behind. He's now sitting a full level behind Chef Exiled, and I would guess even a level and a half, seeing how he just hit level 9. Yeah, Jarvan just a pinch away from 11. Olaf just barely hit level 9 just now. This is going to be a 2-level discrepancy on these junglers, and that is huge. Olaf is only just maxing his first ability, and Jarvan's going to have rank 4 on his W soon. Now, moving into the map, and what can Team Renegades do to get back into this game? They need to start playing around this Tristana more. The Jace has fallen behind now by a full level as well, and honestly, he needs to go Black Cleaver, which it looks like he could be doing, or something more bruiser focused. Orbital actually flashing in, gets the Corrupted Chains onto Daoni Chus, and the Dark Binding and the Tormented Soil is going to tear him down. That's going to be a solo kill for Orbital once the game stops lagging. And now Raffle My Waffle is actually here to provide the slows from Soraka, but not enough, as the Tornado and the Axe from Shadowslayer slow down Orbital. And this is going to be a free Rift Herald for Team Bat Tongue in the top side. Team Renegades is collectively losing every side of the map all at once. Now that Dr. Blink has shoved in this mid lane, he's now looking to get collapsed on by Chef Exiled and Faisal and Orbital. There's nothing he can do here. A nice little sidestep on the flag and drag, but Orbital says, that's cute. You can't dodge a point-and-click ability. Chains him up, binds him, and kills him. And that's actually going to put Orbital at 2-1-4 with a 11 CS lead at 20 minutes. He's pretty much just going to rip through, and a great cancel on the rocket jump from Daoni. by Faisal. Actually, she was so close to freedom, and he just threw her back into the team and insta-killed her. And actually, XTchala looking to get some damage onto Team Batong. Faisal and Chef Exile a little bit lower than they might want to be here. They don't get to use that Rift Arrow to rip down the inner inhibitor tower, but they do gain another tower and practically all of this one, but it will heal. But depending on how quickly they can push that middle lane in again, they might as well have gotten that inhibitor tower. But now, as the game lags again, we see that 4 towers down, 9,000 gold at 20 minutes. Renegades do not have much of an option anymore. They have lost every lane, every brawl, every gank, everything. Everything you can imagine, they've probably lost it. Their wallets, their phones, their keys, they've probably lost it. But now as we see the 20-minute mark hit with this Earth Drake, and with how far they are ahead, Team Batong could be looking to go for this Baron rather quickly. We actually see Jarvan looking up towards this top lane, maybe going to play the vision game, or maybe going to go onto XTchala. It's hard to guess, but XTchala looking to recall. So, yep, Chef Exile does take his time, back off, place a few wards, and walk back towards his side of the map. And actually might run into Shadow Slayer here. Yep, he does get pinged out by Shadow Slayer. Is he going to be looking for a fight, though? I am not sure. But as we see now, this Jarvan with the Dead Man's Plate and the Cinder Hulk completed and the Hex Drinker for extra measure is so strong. And actually, Daoni just barely surviving that encounter. Only just getting out alive, dodging the Crystal Arrow with the rocket jump by millimeters. Half a second later and Daoni would be dead. And now Team Batong actually looking to make a rotation towards the top side of the map and take this second inner tower. This is going to put them at 5 towers over 0. And Chef Exiled is looking to fight. A 4-man Cataclysm is huge with the Faisal and the Gnar. Throws him into the wall, and Shadow Slayer is running into the back line, but it's pointless because he is not tanky. He's dead. Dr. Blank now looking to get dived under his inhibitor towers. Daoni trying to help a brother out and knocks them away with the Buster Shot and barely saves his friend's life, but he will not be saving this top lane inhibitor. And Faisal's tanky, Chef Exile is tanky. If I'm on Team Batong, I'm calling, hey, walk down mid, tank this inhibitor, we can get 2. But it does not look like that's what they will be doing. A missed opportunity in my thoughts, maybe not in the thoughts of them, because they see the Infernal Drake, and they are hungry for more damage. But Chef Exiled actually did reset, but he is here now. The home guard's getting him out of base very quickly, and this Infernal Drake has never been beaten up so badly. How rude. He just wanted to be friends. Now Faisal looking to back and reset. Does have 2,000 gold in his pockets. That's going to be a finished Frozen Mallet. And probably another Chain Vest, I guess. And the Ash Arrow actually does go on to Mexican Batman, but they are not going to be looking to follow that one up. A Chains Vest and a Negatron Cloak. Already looking into that Gargoyle Stone Plate. About 700 gold away, but Chef Exiled has maybe made a misstep. Walked a little too far into the enemy jungle and gets ulted down by the Malzahar. Nethergrasped. And actually takes a good chunk of his life. Maybe that'll be the wake-up call for Team Batong that they are not invincible in this game and they can still lose this. But it would be hard. It would be harder to lose this game than win this game. And actually handing over the red buff to Faisal with the Frozen Mallet, that sounds disgusting. I can't imagine how slow someone is going to be once they get whacked in the face by a boomerang. And now Orbital Chef Exiled and the rest of Team Bat Tongue looking to take this final tower outside of the base. We've already cracked the base. Top lane will be crashing soon with the wave, and Mexican Batman is on the wrong side of the map, placing wards on a Baron. So this tower should be all but free if they want it. Dr. Blake does clear out the wave rather quickly, and actually Faisal and Chef Exiled are looking to make a the old 1-2 and looks to take the mid lane inhibitor, and they do get it. And XD Chala does put a little bit of damage back on a Faisal, but not before Daoni loses half his health to the enemy tank. I can't stress that enough. This Gnar is got Frozen Mallet, Black Cleaver, and an armor and an MR item. He is their tank, not their damage, and the screen actually has gone black. But it does look like we will be getting back